Hello and welcome to IUPUI University Library. You can find us at ulib.iupui.edu or in 1IU by searching IUPUI University Library. On our website, you will find a list of subject librarians under Guides. There is one of us assigned to each major, but if you do not yet have a major, you can contact the librarian who is responsible for English with library questions and for research assistance. You can also contact the library for general help by phone, email, text, and chat. You can find subject and course research guides on the library homepage under Guides, Subject Guides, or Course Guides. The English W271 course guide is there, as well as in your Canvas course site on the Library Research Guide tab on the left side navigation. This is the first of 2 tutorials for English W270. I want to let you know in advance that I am going to use some keyword examples related to family separation due to deportation, in case that is something that affects you personally. You may not have spent much time in the past thinking about your keywords, but we're going to take a few moments to do just that. Keywords are really important. They help you target the information you want in a variety of resources. Not only do they open the way to finding scholarship or written academic resources on a topic, but they also are the building blocks for your assignments. As you start to make connections between ideas and concepts, you translate them into words and begin to build your project. Dedicate an assignment page in Canvas to tracking your keywords. I will refer to this as your research journal. You will be responsible for creating and sharing this research journal with your instructor. Personally, I like to create and insert a table and treat it like a spreadsheet. I suggest making it at least 4 columns across with 5 rows. Each row will be for a unique key concept. You can also just make a numbered list of key concepts. You can pause the video now to create your research journal before I move on to talk about how to come up with keywords. The good news is you already know how to use keywords. When we sit down to do a research project, often the first thing we do is search for something on our topic in Google or another search engine. Even librarians start here sometimes. Librarians call the words you type into the search box keywords or search terms. Often, we get overwhelmed by the information we find online and sometimes choose articles out of desperation or convenience rather than the articles that help us consider other perspectives and gain new knowledge. So it's useful to pause and consider the keywords you want to use because what you put into the search box determines what you get out of a search, whether you're searching with an online search engine or in a library catalog or database. Start by identifying your research question or your assigned topic. If your instructor hasn't assigned you a topic, you can get ideas from almost anywhere, like from the news or from class reading materials. For example, there has been a lot of news coverage on the effects of deportation on families under both President Obama and President Trump's policies. Some of the terms I might use to find out more about these issues would be immigration, families, and separation. What are the main or key concepts in your research question? Can you put each key idea into a single term or phrase? Write down 2 to 5 key concepts from your topic in your research journal. I like to write them vertically so that I have space next to each one to use later. After identifying 2 to 5 keywords, take a moment to think about them critically. What I mean is that you want to ask yourself if the terms you are using are going to be the most accurate and up-to-date words that people use to communicate about your topic or question. Are your keywords the same terms that scholars and researchers would use to describe the topic? If not, that is okay. But to tap into the ideas of others, you may have to try to think like them. And sometimes this requires us as researchers to use more formal and academic language than we typically do in casual conversation in order to find the information that we need. Sure, sometimes these words sound dull or confusing, but language is always evolving and changing because of new knowledge and ideas from discoveries and theories. There are many tools that can help you find appropriate keywords. Dictionaries, like the Merriam-Webster Online or the Oxford English Dictionary, Thesauri, Google, Wikipedia, or Credo Reference, a library subscription database that you will find on the library homepage under the Databases icon. And I'll show it to you in the next tutorial.
If you aren't sure of the best terms to use, do some preliminary searching in these resources that I've mentioned and write down a few synonyms or words with the same or even similar meaning to your original concepts. Here is my example using immigration, families, and separation. I've added the term policies, and I've started to write the synonyms or closely related words in the horizontal space next to each key concept. Feel free to add to your vertical list of key concepts too. Usually between 3 to 5 key concepts is a good amount to work with. You might just want to quit watching this video right now and Google something about your topic. Well, let's give that a try together and talk about why all of this that I'm telling you matters and will help you. Imagine that you're studying veterinary medicine and want to know how to make a cat healthy. If you search in Google using a natural language phrase like, "How do I make my cat healthy?" what you end up with are ads, websites that are clickbait, and sources that are not very credible. You may say, wait a minute, PetMD is vet authored and vet approved. Well, what if your cat's health issue is not covered in one of those top 5 tips? If you change the keywords that you use to feline and medicine, you will see that the keywords you use make a big difference. These results include more authoritative sources. There are links to scholarly articles, a scholarly journal, and an academic institution. If you were a student of veterinary medicine, which search results would you prefer? Now that you are a scholar, your research process needs to go beyond just natural language Google searching. Please check out the Evaluating Information Sources page in the English W270 course guide for more information on how to choose good sources, whether you are online or in our databases. When you begin to do targeted research in a database, you can type out all of your first key concepts in a single search box with the word "and" in all caps in between each term. You can also just type in a natural language phrase like separation of families due to deportation, but it's harder to track your process that way. Also, some databases do not work with Google-style natural language phrase searching. So let's look at a psychology database from EBSCO called PsycInfo. Start by using 3 keywords like separation and families and deportation. If that doesn't get results or it doesn't get the results you want, try a similar search like child and abandonment and immigration. You can be strategic by swapping out one term at a time to find out what makes a useful difference. If you aren't getting good results, think about whether it has to do with the keywords you're using, and if you're stumped, you can call your librarian. Research comes from a French word meaning to search again, so be prepared to spend time doing multiple searches until you hit upon some that work. Track your searches in a research journal or spreadsheet to make sure that you don't repeat yourself. That way you can systematically work through a database without getting lost or overwhelmed. As you go through your searches, keep track of new keywords and synonyms that you come across in the databases. To go back to our building blocks metaphor, the word "and" is like the mortar between your blocks because it connects your keywords. Using "and" tells the database to run a specific operation, which is to retrieve results that contain all of the keywords you put in. It's like saying you want a scoop of chocolate and strawberry and vanilla ice cream. Each are unique flavors, and you want them all in the same dish or document. Be sure to use only keywords that represent unique concepts. In other words, don't put 2 synonyms together with "and," because an article that uses the term deportation might not also use the term removal, and then you will get 0 results. The more terms you add on, the narrower your search will get. So I suggest you start with 2 or 3 and build up from there. If you start right away with 5 separate concepts, you might get very few or even 0 results, because the probability that all your terms will appear in the same document goes down each time you add on another keyword. But narrow can be good, so start broad and strategically get more focused using the skills that I talk about in this tutorial. As you can see, using the power of "and," you can search Google Scholar, IUCAT, and even EBSCO's competitor ProQuest databases. In this case, I am looking at ProQuest Central, a multidisciplinary database that covers a wide range of subjects or fields. The AND can be used between your keywords in a variety of search interfaces so that you can find the information you need. As you search and research, keep your eyes peeled not only for new keywords, but for alternate spellings and other related ideas. Update your list of keywords as you go. And be sure to take the list you started with you to class. Your instructor will want to review it, and you can ask your classmates for feedback or for help brainstorming. In the next tutorial, we will delve deeper into databases, and I'll give you some tips and tricks. For recommended databases for argumentative writing, check out my course guide for English W270 on the library homepage under Guides, Course Guides, English W270. This guide is also available in Canvas under the Library Research Guide tab. Thanks for watching, and please check out the next tutorial on databases.